Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps and I am here in Sheffield with Jason Quigley. Jason, this is the first time we're actually interviewing. I can't believe this is the first time considering I've seen you around so much.
Yeah, it's been crazy, you know. I think it took us both to come across the water to the UK for us to get our first interview, but now we're here, so let's make it a good one. Huh?
How does it feel to be in the same time zone as your family?
Unbelievable. You know, obviously LA was amazing. It's a great experience, everything like that there. But one of the hardest things was the time difference because you were kind of planning your day around the 8-hour time difference to try and stay in touch with family and friends and everything. And it was difficult because especially when you got lonely and you wanted to get in touch with them and then next thing they're all in bed. You don't want to be ringing them up and waking them up, you know. So, but no, I'm absolutely delighted now with the move and everything couldn't be going better.
So explain to me why you made the decision to come to Sheffield. Why the Ingle Gym? I'm sure you had plenty of other options. So explain to me exactly why that was.
To be honest, you know, obviously I broke my hand in my last fight. And a lot of people will look at that as, oh, you know, broke his hand, had to get surgery and took a year out and recovery, rehab, everything like that. People look at it in a negative way. And of course I did at the start, but right now I can't look at it in any other way than such a positive way because it gave me the time, it gave me the opportunity to sit back, to evaluate my career, to evaluate where I was at in life, and it gave me the time to make all these great changes. And the main reason was in LA, it was like I was putting a jigsaw together, but there was a few pieces missing. And since I've came to Sheffield, those pieces have been all put in. It's painted a beautiful jigsaw now.
When you say that I know that you mentioned in an interview that you've matured a lot over the course of the last year. Can you be specific on exactly what it was that you needed to mature on?
Yeah, you know, like I'm 26 years of age now, and I was always happy-go-lucky, and I am a happy-go-lucky, enjoy the crack, as we call it, and everything like that, you know. But the last year that I had, you know, going through everything that I went through, the changes, everything like that, I feel as if I've matured 10 years. I look at life in a more mature way. You know, I look at life in a more down the line kind of a way, and making sure that I have everything in order and that I'm leaving no stone unturned. And it's hard to explain, you know. A thing as well is I'm starting to appreciate where I came from. And I think moving to LA made me realise that, because I went to LA and I was like, oh, it's beautiful, it's amazing and everything like that. But then every time I came home, I started realising how beautiful Donegal, how beautiful Ireland was. And I think that was a thing that I always heard people older than me saying, oh, we're so lucky to be living in such a great country and all this. And I was like, what he's on about? I want to get out of here. But now I've really, you know, came into myself, found my roots, and matured in a lot of ways that I'm looking at life in a more mature way.
When you had that time off, did you have a bit of anxiety, wondering, like, or not really too sure of when you were going to make your return?
Yeah, of course. You know, that was one of the most difficult things for me because, as everyone knows, a full-time professional boxer, this is their life here in the gym, and you know, we wake up every day with a fight date in our mind, you know, going to the gym, working on things, working on how to beat opponents, everything like that. And, you know, obviously after the surgery, I didn't know exactly the length of time. We had a time scale of when everything would start coming together, and then the rehab after the surgery and all that. You know, so we were looking at the year, maybe a wee bit longer. And for me, mentally, it was the most difficult. You know, I had to find ways around keeping my mind active, keeping my mind busy, and you know, stop kind of worrying about when am I going to get back in the ring. You know, what am I going to get up for every day? And I'm very lucky that I am the way I am. You know, I stayed in shape. I stayed out of the boxing gym because it frustrated me too much because I couldn't let the right hand go. So I did a lot of spinning classes, did a lot of swimming, did a lot of metafit, did a lot of, you know, different types of keep fit training and staying in shape. And you know, it made me stay in great shape. You know, I went for a meeting with Golden Boy and I walked in and they were like, "Whoa, you're in great shape." And I'm like, yeah, you know, and they're like, "You're in better shape than most active fighters right now."
Yeah.
You know, and that was my way. I had to take it a day at a time, and I had to keep in the gym. I had to keep training, keeping my mind busy, and that was a way for me to keep my mind right and to stay focused. And I had a date, maybe the Cotto Ali undercard in Madison Square Garden. And you know, I'm so grateful for having such a great team, Golden Boy, and my management team, Sheer Sports, because, you know, obviously I was itching to get back in there, but they were the ones that told me, "Look, Jason, you're thinking of making a change, concentrate on making that change, get to Sheffield, do what you have to do, and let the hand heal." He says, "You have fight dates, you have everything there when you're ready. Don't rush anything."
You keep mentioning change. What exactly were you looking to change? Is it like your style? What was it exactly you were looking for?
Mainly my lifestyle, you know, because in LA it was very boring for me. You know what I mean? In LA,
Not very many people would say that.
but that's what I mean. You know, that was the problem. Like,
It just wasn't home. That's the thing.
exactly. And LA is it's such a beautiful place. There's so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
But doing it on your own, it's not the same. And that's what I was missing. You know, I was there, and, you know, I think that was even worse because you knew what was out there, but you couldn't really enjoy it because you were doing it on your own. And it's not the same. Special moments are to be shared with someone. You know what I mean? That's what
Like
makes
you're preaching to me right now, because that's how I always feel like everywhere I travel, I'm doing everything alone.
Well, I'm telling you, try not to, because, you know, once the heart's happy, and that's what it is for me right now. You know, being so close to home, it's an hour flight from door here to my door in Ireland. It's a 4-hour trip compared to a 10-hour plane journey, traveling, time difference, jet lag, everything like that. You know, it's so much better, and the culture change as well. Don't get me wrong, I love the Americans, the Mexicans, everything like that there, but the culture changed back to the people that understand me a bit better in every way. You know, it just makes things a lot more comfortable.
So let's talk about the dynamics here at the Ingle Gym. What's it been like for you?
It's been amazing. You know, I think, obviously, you've been interviewing all the lads, you know them as well as I do now. And it's just a great camaraderie in here. You know, everybody gets on great. We all have fun, and boxing's supposed to be an individual sport, but here in the Ingle Gym it feels like a team sport. And I think that's what's so special. It actually brings me back to my amateur days, whenever you were in the amateur clubs and everything like that, you know, because you were all training together. Like, we'll come in here if we're doing bags or pads and even body sparring. You'll be in with amateurs, you'll be in with pros, you'll be in with guys maybe that are just in to keep fit. And I think that's what's great. You know, there's nobody looked at here, if you're a world champion or if you're in to keep fit, nobody's looked at differently. And I think that's very important to keep that mould in the gym, because it keeps everybody on the same length and it keeps everybody happy.
Well, you're 13-0, the NABF middleweight champion. Now, we have another champion in here, okay? So, ultimately, in the long run, should Billy Joe remain the WBO middleweight champion, that's the title you should be looking for, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, all these belts out there are what I want to get my hands on. But the type of person that I am, I don't really, I know my end goal, and I know where I want to get to, and that's obviously to be world champion and then progress on from there. But for me right now, I don't look past my next fight. You know, and that's the way that I work, and the way the boxing is. You know, I could go and look at the likes of Billy Joe, the likes of Canelo, the likes of Golovkin, and be like, oh, you know, when I fight them, this, that, whatever. But who's to say that when my shot comes that they're going to be champion? You know, this is boxing. It's a crazy sport. So the type of person that I am, I just concentrate on myself. You know, I concentrate on myself being 110% performing every fight, getting into that ring and giving it my best, and whatever opportunities come, I'll be ready for them.
I'm sure, though, being in the gym with Billy, you guys have to be kind of scoping each other out, because you could very well be facing each other one day.
Yeah, of course. You know, to be honest, I'm delighted to be in the same gym as him, because that's a man that is where I want to get to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And for me to be in, seeing the way that he does everything and the way that Kell Brook does everything, you know, lads that have been to that stage, you know, it just it makes it all look like the way I used to look at it when I was a kid. I don't look at it no more, but you know, whenever you seen world champions, it was like, oh, they're different machines, or you know, they're something out of this world.
Yeah.
But you know, when you get to the stage now, you realise that they're normal people. They just work hard at what they do, and they're dedicated, and they have a special talent. And I know I'm right on that level and right on that par with them. And as I says, you know, I'm excited. And of course, you know, Billy's world champion at middleweight and everything like that. But I think if we were in any other gym, there might be a bit of animosity there.
Yeah.
But it's not here. Do you know what I mean? It's not here.
Have you sparred him?
No, I have. I think we've done some body sparring and everything like that, and we've worked well together. And as he says, that's the type of gym this is. Me and Billy, if we have to open spar or do anything like that, we won't be in there to prove a point or to try and knock each other out or anything, because this is the kind of atmosphere that's in the gym. We're in there to help each other and to learn and to grow off each other, and that's exactly what we do.
Where did you get your nickname, El Animal?
Have a guess. Los Angeles. I had Mexican trainers.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's Mexican.
Yeah, you know, so I think they got it from me, because everyone outside of the ring and outside of the gym is like, gee, you're not like a boxer at all. You're such a nice, happy guy. And the last thing people would put me in is boxing sometimes. But they seen the difference, and as soon as I stepped through the ropes, they says, you're a bit of an animal then, you know, whenever you get in there.
You're like the guy at the pub that if someone tried messing with, they wouldn't know what they're getting themselves in for, because you're like, nice guy.
Exactly. You know, but yeah, I got the nickname from my Mexican trainers and everything, and the fans back in Los Angeles. But I think now that I've moved closer back home to my roots, and I've more... I've tapped back into more of who I am and where I'm from. I think now it's time to maybe drop El Animal, you know, the Spanish Mexican kind of thing, and just get back to who I am, and that's Jason Quigley, the Irish guy.
Jason, I want to ask you about another big fight that's coming up, the Canelo Triple G fight, and also ask you about the situation that happened with Canelo and what your thoughts are on that.
So the first fight, Canelo Triple G, I tipped Canelo to win the fight. I thought he was just going to be a wee bit younger, fresher, sharper, faster, everything, and it didn't work out. Honestly, I thought Golovkin won the fight by 2 or 3 rounds, and I've been asked this question again since in a live interview on Facebook for one of my local sponsors, Michael Hinney's, and it took me like 5 minutes to answer the question, because
You just didn't know.
I wasn't sure. I couldn't put my finger on it. And, you know, looking back now, I see where Canelo can win the fight. I see that I thought Canelo worked in phases of the fight, but switched off for too long between rounds. Yeah. He was winning rounds, and I think he knew that and was like, okay, I have this round one, and switched off. And Golovkin came on and put the pressure on and threw some shots. Maybe not all the shots got through, but for the judges looking, they seen that Golovkin was doing the more work. And I think that's where Golovkin won the fight. So, going now into this fight, I think Canelo can still win this fight if he sees what I've seen. And of course it's easy for me to say what to do and everything. I didn't fight Golovkin. I haven't been hit by his shots, or vice versa for either of them. You know, I can see where Canelo can win the fight, but he needs to be on tip-top shape. And of course, with everything going on as well, I hope it doesn't affect him mentally, you know, moving into this fight, thinking that everyone's thinking that he's a drug cheat or anything like this here.
Do you think that if he were to win the rematch, that because of what's sort of hovering over him, it taints the win for him?
That's the first thing I thought of. You know, I thought that Golovkin's going to be rubbing his hands together hearing this, because he's just going to turn around and be like, whatever way the fight goes, everyone's going to be like, oh, sure, Canelo was taking whatever, doing this, that, you know. But at the end of the day, if Canelo was taking too much or a serious drug enhancer, obviously he would have been banned and the fight would have been called off. But obviously this drug that he's been taking isn't up there with a Class A one to rule him out and to ban him. And it's not going to have an effect come fight night. Do you know what I mean? This drug isn't going to help him anyway come fight night or anything like that. And maybe it was a genuine mistake from the meet in Mexico, as I heard of Vargas, was it El Bandino? He also had a similar problem, you know. But whatever it is now, it has happened. And I think everybody's trying to forget about it and move forward now and look forward to the big fight.
Well, it was great catching up with you. Thank you for your time. I know it's never always the best doing interviews right before it's fight night. What would you like to say to the fight fans?
I like to say that I'm back first. I'm excited, and you know, 2018 now is the year that I really state my name. I have been climbing the ladder, I have been climbing the ranks, but 2018 now is the year that I come back, make big waves, make a lot of noise, and ready for big things.
All right, thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, fight fans. Hey, fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.